Y'all, I just made $550 from trading EURJPY. I made $550 from pressing buttons on my phone. This has been the craziest week. I made almost $1,000 this week, but EURJPY definitely took the cake. It definitely carried my week for sure. And the crazy thing is the trade was so simple. It was a simple break and retest. All I trade is break and retest, right? So this was a 1-to-6 RR risk reward ratio trade, but it could have been a 1-to-10 if I would have held to my second TP, because it did hit second TP. We're gonna talk about all that. It could have been like $1,000 trade, which is insane to me, but we're gonna talk about it. So yeah, I'm just gonna go ahead and go into my office and just show y'all like what we got going on. But yeah, this is insane. Like, this is just a crazy, amazing week. Yeah, I'm just mind blown. But yeah, let me show y'all basically how I was able to make $550 from my freaking phone, bro. Like, all right, to the charts. What's up, YouTube? It's your girl AK, and we are back with another video, y'all. I caught a crazy 1-to-6 RR on EURJPY. It could have been a 1-to-10. We're gonna talk about it, right? But basically, y'all wanted me to show y'all like my particular entry and how I got it. This is the particular trade, so I'm gonna actually jump here. So this is the particular trade I caught, right? I held it to liquidity. I did not hold it to the 27 extension this time. Originally I was, but I changed my mind, and then it got to the 27. So hey, you know, it is what it is. I thought we were actually gonna reverse at this point, I'm not gonna lie. I saw price, well, for one, I saw price was like rejecting me a lot, and then two, I already doubled my weekly goal for the week. And so I was just like, bro, like, let me just take my money. We made it to liquidity, we made it TP1, so I just took my money out because we already doubled the goal for the week. And I was like, it's fine. And then the next morning, it like went to the second TP. So, you know, could have been a 1-to-10. It's fine. It's whatever. It's cool. Right? Yeah, because this would have been about a 1-to-10. Well, like a little under 9.91. About a 1-to-10. So, yeah. Let me explain my entry. So, first, I want to show you what I saw in this particular trade. I'm going to actually hide this position tool for a second. Right? And I'm going to rewind price back to where I was. So, as you can see, like on the daily time frame, right, we were bullish. Like, price, it came close to breaking this daily support, but this daily support, as you can see, it never got broken. Yeah, and I told y'all, if we're still bullish on the daily and we don't break daily support, we only can go two ways, up or down. We didn't break daily support, or going up. So boom, 4 hour. At this point, the 4 hour was actually bearish. It's kind of hard to see on the 4 hour, but it's a lot more clear on the 1 hour. So if you can see right here, the 1 hour, as you can see, we were making lower lows, lower highs, lower lows, lower highs, right? We were just making lower and lower and lower. We were making resistance levels, right? Boom. And then we finally get to a particular point, right? So I talk about this a lot, right? If my higher time frame, the daily and the weekly, they're both bullish, right? If I know my higher time frames are bullish, right, and I see that my lower time frame, like 1 hour, 4 hour, are currently bearish, I know that the higher time frame holds more weight, right? So I know that this lower low, lower high is temporary, right? It is a temporary thing. So what I did, I just waited for price to basically break structure to the upside. Right here, this was our last resistance level. So I marked up, this is a 4 hour resistance on the 1 hour, right? And I also marked up a 4 hour resistance up here, right? But I was looking more at the 1 hour, honestly. But I still marked it up just as a reference for the 4 hour. So here's the 4 hour right here. And all I'm waiting to do, y'all, was a break of structure, right? If we break resistance, right? If you're in the downtrend, you're making lower lows, lower highs, right? Lower lows, lower highs. That is a downtrend. The moment you break above structure, the moment you break resistance, that is the opposite of the characteristics of a downtrend. A downtrend only has lower lows, lower highs, right? The moment you make a higher low, that is what? The characteristic of a uptrend, right? So once I was basically waiting for this particular move. That basically told me that this particular move is basically to tell me that the correction is over and we're ready to continue up on the higher time frame. So boom, right here, 1 hour. As you can see, we do break structure. As you can see, price came up and we broke this resistance. Now, I gotta wait for a little bit more, right? This could have been like a liquidity sweep, right? You kind of want to wait for a little bit more information. I need price to show me that it does not want to go any lower. Right here, is where I need to wait for the retest, right? So this is a break and retest strategy, right? Here's resistance, right? We broke structure. I'm waiting for price to give me the retest. Once I get the retest and it shows me it doesn't go any lower, that is my entry, right? That is my entry. So we let price play out. So price gives us the retest, right? At this point, I need to see price like a little bit closer, right? So we're already good on the 1 hour, but I really just want like a really good entry. So I scale into, I believe it was the 5-minute time frame. And I just need to see the same thing, right? 5 minute, what we doing? Lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high. And then boom, we break structure. But we can't go off of the break, right? We gotta see a little bit more. So we come back down. What else? Let's see what price wants to do. Okay, so this is interesting. So right here, as you can see, price, we came back down, but we actually failed to take out that low. That gave me a indication or like a hint, right, that price did not want to go lower, right? And then notice again, right when price failed to make a low, what do? We broke up, broke this higher. Okay, what else did it do? Failed to make a low. What we doing? We're pushing up. At this point, y'all, at this point, you see on the 5 minute, structure is changing. Structure is changing. We went from going from lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, to what? Now we're failing to break lows. Now we're making new highs, right? What are the characteristics of uptrend? Well, you got a higher high and a higher low. Higher high, higher low, right? What's happening right here? Higher high, higher low. So y'all see what's happening here, right? This is basically when you scale in on the lower time frame and all your time frames are finally in sync, that lets you know that the trend is basically shifting. We're going back to the continuation. Once I scaled in on the 5 minute, it kind of gave me everything I need to know, okay, we are not breaking this level. We're about to push up, right? So that's when I got my entry. So I'm going to actually add my actual position tool back on here. Boom. So I got in a little bit up here, as you can see. Yeah, at some point when price started shifting back up, that's when I got in. But yeah. And then, yeah, I just held it. So I knew we had this 4 hour resistance level, but since the 1 hour is shifting bullish, it kind of gave me confidence that price was gonna keep pushing up. Because check what happened here. Like price on the 4 hour, we got to this point. Yeah, we did fall a little bit because there are sellers, right? There's sellers sitting at resistance. But when price came lower and it failed to break this level and then it started pushing up again, yeah, that kind of gave me the confidence I needed. Like, we're about to break this 4 hour resistance. I'm about to just get in, right? So I saw a lot of like strong momentum. I got in like around Asian session. It was like around 10 p.m. I believe. And yeah, I just let price kind of do its thing. And eventually we got to our full take profit. I think I actually ended up closing a little bit right here. Cause I saw like price was like taking a very long time. And I was like, by this point, I was like I was like double my weekly goal, and I just kind of wanted to secure it. So I did end up closing a little bit short, like a little bit short of my TP, like right here. But like if you keep watching, like it does like fly through it at some point. Yeah, so we actually fly through it and we actually get to our second take profit, which is my 27 extension. So if I would have held, I would have actually made double of what I made, right? Because like I said, this was a 1 to 10 target, which is crazy. That would have been $1,000 trade, which is insane. But it's okay because we still secured the 1 to 6 nest leg rate restore ratio as well. But yeah, if you're curious about my targets, so I always use Fibonacci for my targets, right? So this is a Fibonacci tool, but I only look at my extension levels for targets. So I just look at the targets, right? My 0 is going to be where liquidity sits. So as you can see, we had daily liquidity sitting right here. So that was the first target, which is targeting liquidity. And then the second target was the 27 extension. So that was right here, as you can see. So yeah, we got to both TPs, but I only secured 1. It's all good. I'm still happy with this trade. It was a great trade. Really great trading week. I hope that entry made sense to y'all. Break and retest is really all I trade, if I'm being real. It's so simple. Like, I feel like you should keep trading simple. But yeah, we made about $550 in profit from this particular trade. Great trade. So yeah, let me know if you have any questions. Y'all want me to talk about entries more, I can. And yeah, I just hope y'all have a great and amazing, wonderful day. Good luck with y'all trading. Bye, y'all.